Hello everyone, welcome to my review of Transformers Studio Series number 29, Deluxe Class Dark of the Moon Sideswipe, and also happy 15-year anniversary to the movie Transformers Dark of the Moon. And I was initially planning on doing some Transformers actual Dark of the Moon figures, but then I was like, there are some Dark of the Moon characters that appeared that I haven't done yet in Studio Series, so why not just do them? And so this review has been born. And also, I've been using this guy a lot in my Studio Series size comparisons, and also movie size comparison, all that stuff. So it's about time we look at this guy, and potentially next year we're gonna be looking at Jazz, because that's the I don't know, the 20-year anniversary of like the first movie. But anyway, here he is. And before we really get into it, let me say one little thing. I have tried to adjust the lights in height and all that stuff. If it's still kind of shining on this idiot, I'm sorry, okay? There's nothing I can do about that. I have tried and failed. I don't know. If you guys know any way to fix this stuff, then please let me know in the comments so that I can potentially implement the fixes. It's just silver doesn't really work well with my setup, sadly enough. However, luckily enough, this guy does not have silver. And also, this is the Dark of the Moon version, and when I bought this guy, which was actually a bit later into Studio Series, I had the choice between this guy and the Revenge of the Fallen one, and I misremembered something, and that is the fact that people said that the Revenge of the Fallen one was the worst one. No, that's the better one. So I picked the wrong one. I picked this idiot instead of the Revenge of the Fallen one, which I do kind of regret. However, we're here, so let's take a look at the plastic. And Sideswipe is such a cool character from the live action movies. I mean, he made an impression on so many people in that introduction where he cuts sideways in half, which, by the way, I do not have for size comparison. And also, there's not going to be any size comparison with any other Sideswipe figures. They are up on the shelf in the back, so I can't get to them, sadly enough. Not at the moment, anyway. But, like, he cuts sideways in half, and he's like, damn, I'm cool. And that was my introduction to this guy. I was like, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Then I came home, and I was like, what do you mean I can't play in the Revenge of the Fallen game without some stupid DLC? And then the Dark of the Moon game came out, and he has a mission where basically he has to be rescued. And funny enough, actually, the guy that you play as to rescue Sideswipe is also the review I'm recording today. Good old Dino. But then you don't get to play as him in the campaign at all. And then the multiplayer, he's again DLC. Why did they keep making this idiot DLC? He is such a cool character, and they keep making him DLC. It's such a shame. But anyway, now that I'm done talking and rambling about that whole thing, let's look at plastic, because here he is, and he overall looks pretty good. I will say this before we get into it. This is not my favorite Sideswipe movie figure. There's one figure that stands above all. I do not have him for size comparison, and I would really like to do a review, but I will mention him later on, mainly in the final thoughts. But there is someone above this guy. But anyway, let's take a closer look at good old Sideswipe here, starting off with that neat little head sculpt that the camera doesn't want to focus on for some reason, but that nice little head sculpt. Look at that. Yes, most of this guy is unpainted, and I think that was actually changed in the Revenge of the Fallen release, where he's basically painted very silver, and that would be even worse with my lights and all that stuff. But he looks really cool with the face sculpt, very nice. Then also you got the back of the car titties right there. You love to see it, even has some a little bit of articulation there. You got the torso area and the tummy as well, very nicely detailed. And then here with the legs, you got that legendary chicken leg going on. And then the feet are my main problem with this guy. But then also the back is just like he's got the door wings that he has in that weird position. But the feet is where I kind of draw a line, because the thing is that this figure, he doesn't have feet, okay? This character does not have feet in the movie. He has wheels. And this guy has clearly feet. I understand it's for standing purposes, but the other figure, you know what, I'm just gonna say it. The Hunt for the Decepticons Deluxe Class figure actually finds a really clever way to do the feet. And if I ever do a review of that guy, which I kind of hope I can, I will talk more about it during that review. But like, he does the feet the best, and that is why that is my favorite Sideswipe figure. Especially if you rotate the wheel around, you know, you can get it so that from the front, he just has wheels, but he has like a heel behind it. It's great. But outside of that, this thing still looks very, very good. Very much like him a lot. So then, let us move you off to the side, because we got some accessories to talk about. Starting off, well, let's start off with the parts that actually have needed for the vehicle. We have the blades look at this. This is basically just the side of the vehicle, but it's the blades that he had in the movie. However, I don't necessarily... I mean, he used this in the Dark of the Moon movie, I think, during the standoff with the dreads. That is when I think he used the blades. But he didn't really use the blades a lot. There was more gun show. But it's nice that he comes with the blades as well, which, as you can see here, there is a hole on the side of the hand that you can just plug this bad boy into, and also on this side as well. There you go. Now he has the blades coming out of the arms like he did in the movie. Absolutely fantastic. You love to see it. I love the fact that they included this, and I like the way how it kind of looks like it comes out of the arms. Well, not necessarily, because there is a little bit of a gappy gap right there, sadly enough. Kind of wish there wasn't really a gappy gap, but whatever. You know what, you can win them all. It's deluxe class budget. The fact that they included this is great. However, it does come with a small problem that people might call parts forming. Yes, sadly enough, these things are actually necessary for the vehicle mode. So you basically take off 2 pieces, but they become weapons. So I think that counts differently. But that's not all you get with him, because of the fact that he also comes with the 2 guns that he used in the standoff. And I like these guns a lot, the 2 shooters. I like how it's like, you know, like you got the bit of brown and then the black in the middle. I like the way that the color separates there. But obviously he can hold the gun in hand if need be. Let's see here. He can hold the guns like so if you want to, so that he can shoot for the standoff with the dreads. You know how it goes. Absolutely wonderful. But I like all the accessories that he comes with. However, this set is a little bit more like worth it, because you get all of the accessories plus a lot more silver paint. But that also kind of comes with the downside of the fact that you have to watch out with playing with him, because of the fact that, sadly enough, silver paint can be scratched off. It's a little bit of a shame. But overall, this is a great figure in and of itself. So then, let us look then straight at the next segment, which is the articulation segment. So the head can do a full rotation right there. You got a bit of up and down action as well. Not much side to side, up and down more though. Then the arms can move forward and back. They can't do all the way around, sadly enough, because of this whole titty piece kind of getting in the way of everything. So he is, sadly enough, a bit limited, but he can go forward and back. You also have a swivel here and a bend at the elbow, so that he can still do something like that. And then the hand can really only go in, can't go to the side. He has always rotation that once again gets blocked by all the stuff back here, sadly enough. Then you got a leg forward, you get a leg back, in and out, and then also a thigh rotation up there as well. And then he also has like a knee bend, I guess. You can get a pretty cool knee bend if you really use the both articulation points, because like this is the leg fully extended. However, in order for him to be, you know, the sideswipe that he is, you have to bend the chicken leg. But that way you can really go all the way in with the with the stuff, which I like a lot. And he doesn't really have ankle tilt, but he does kind of have it the other way around, which is kind of an annoyance, you know. I mean, because of the fact of the way that this whole thing works, it's just a little bit annoying. But he does not have ankle tilt, sadly enough. But he's got like decent articulation. Like I said, this is number 29, so yeah, that was a bit earlier in the Studio Series days, before articulation became a big thing. So then, with that being said, let's look straight at then size comparisons. Starting off, here we have Sideswipe with Dino and Q, which are actually kind of important characters for Sideswipe in a way, because, okay, maybe not Q necessarily, because I just remember that scene where Sideswipe tells Q, like, Q, we gotta go, we gotta move, come on. But the Dino actually rescues Sideswipe in the Dark of the Moon video game, so that is why Dino is a bit more important to Sideswipe, but they look very nice alongside him, so let's get them out of here for the popular ones. So then here we have Sideswipe next to Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, and yes, I know, wrong one, but to be honest, I will be honest with you guys here, I find the transformation of the old Camaro Bumblebee a lot more fun than the newer Camaro Bumblebee, because of the fact that there's less parts clashing, and also that Optimus Prime is just absolutely grand. And apparently, according to leaks, potentially for 2027, we are going to be getting a new first 3 movies Optimus Prime figure, so I'm kind of interested to see what that's going to be like. However, I will say right now, if that idiot cannot combine with Studio Series Jetfire, he's not worth picking up. I'll just throw that one out there immediately. He has to be compatible with Jetfire, because of the fact that it's Jetfire, for crying out loud, okay? The Jetimus Prime needs to happen, and also he needs to be compatible with the jetpack from the Dark of the Moon Optimus. Otherwise, why even bother getting him? But anyway, for future movie size comparisons. Age of Extinction Optimus Prime is going to be part of the size comparisons for all of them. So let's get them out of here for the classic one. Cause here you have Sideswipe with Ironhide and yes, man, feels wrong. That feels wrong. It should be Ironhide, Sideswipe, and yes, that's how it goes, you know. It feels wrong when it's the other way around. Anyway, love these three together. They look really cool together. So let's get them out of here. Oh, we went a bit closer and let's get into that transformation. So let's get Sideswipe transformed into his vehicular form, and I know how this works because I've done it a million times for a bunch of other movie bots. Anyway, so what you want to start off with, obviously, it's a classic one. You fold the hands in. It's a classic one. After that, what you want to do with this backpack here is you want to untap this piece here. So just grab it and untap it. There's a slot right there. Tap in here. You know how it goes. After that, what you want to do is you want to take this piece here, lift it up. That will allow you then to rotate this piece around. Take this back piece here and flip it out. This is also a piece that I have a problem with because technically this is supposed to be on his back, but whatever. We're not really going to mention that because it's all about transformation. So then untap the chest here at the front. So undo it, just push it up like so. After that, we come with a little bit of fiddling that we have to do. Also, before we really get into it, let's rotate this piece around so that we don't come into contact with any trouble. Also, this guy's a little bit broken. As you can see, there are two tabbies right there, but there's only one tab on that side. One of them broke off and one of them I think is about to go. So who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and that happens during the recording. But anyway, what you want to do with this is you want to take the doors, rotate them more towards the front, and then push them forward in order to be able to get them out of the way like so, because now we can then take this and push it over the back. Oh, that did not really go the way that I'd planned. I didn't want you to fold in, but you want to push it over the back. Then after that, you want to take these side pieces here, and there are two tabs that need to go under here, and technically one on this side. So basically what you want to do with this, you want to just lift this all the way around, just take it. It can be a little bit of a nuisance. Oh, hey, it actually did break off. Fantastic. But it can be a little bit annoying, sadly enough, but there you go. I was not expecting that breakage to happen on the recording, to be honest. And there you go. Now then, let's take a look at the legs before we really get into the next bit. Actually, you know what? First, we're gonna rotate the arms so that the wheel's facing outwards and then push it down here and then push it in. We'll do this right now as well. It makes things a bit easier later on. There you go. Now that that's out of the way, we can work on the legs. The legs are actually kind of very simple. What you want to do with this is you want to take the silver piece here and rotate it out. Then you want to take this piece here and rotate it in. Do the same thing on the other side. Rotate this out. And then what you want to do with the leg is, well, straighten it out, obviously. But you want to basically take this and rotate this in like so. And then rotate the wheel arch so that it is sitting at the front. So just rotate this bad boy around and then collapse these two pieces into each other and then rotate this out to the front. Then what you want to do is you want to take the two pieces here, the two halves, and tab those bad boys together. Make sure that this whole thing stays. And then after that, take the front of the car, fold it down, and now I can see where all the silver went in the budget. And then you want to basically take it, and there are two tabs on either side that need to go under here. So basically now what you want to do is you want to basically take this and just tab it in, take it and tab it in. There you go. Tab that together. Take these side pieces here and just like push them in all the way like so. And then finally we need to bring in these two side pieces here, because now we come to a little bit of annoyance sometimes. But you got a tab on the underside here and you got a tab right there. The tabs here and also, well, the slots, I guess, here and here is where it's gonna go. So basically you want to take this and just tab this in. This can be a little bit of an annoyance because also this big tab here, this one right here, is also supposed to go right there in the leg. So you want to take this whole thing. I like to tab it together up here first and then find out where to push it in here, because of the fact that the part of these is made out of clear plastic. So it's best to just do that first. So just take this and just, okay, tab it together like so. Oops, me apologies. Oh no, why? You came out. I didn't tab you in all the way. But anyway, after that, here we have good old-fashioned Sideswipe in his vehicle mood. So here you got Sideswipe in his vehicular form, based obviously on the, you know, what do you call this again? The openness of Dark of the Moon. There you go. I forgot. Convertible. The convertible of the Dark of the Moon. There you go. That's the word that I was trying to find out. Because of the fact that Sideswipe actually slightly changed his vehicle mode. And to be honest, I don't even know if any of these vehicles are actually available for purchase. So the whole robots in the skies thing is kind of going out the window, at least with Sideswipe, because of the fact that, well, I think the Stingray was never really distributed. I think it was a concept vehicle that Michael Bay got to use in the Transformers movies, but then they never released it. So it's like, I wonder which is the Transformer, you know, which one is the alien in disguise? The cars that all, you know, that my friend Jack has, or maybe it's that concept car that doesn't exist normally. But yeah, here he is, and this is also where the budget went for all the silver, because look at the beautiful silver that my camera is kind of ruining because of the lights and all that stuff. But still, very nice looking car. I always like this design, and while I have more nostalgia for the first, well, the Revenge of the Fallen movie design, because of the fact that, you know, there were more figures that came out, and to be honest, the Dark of the Moon Deluxe class wasn't necessarily the best, let's just say that, okay? Look, okay, the Dark of the Moon Deluxe class is not really the best. This thing is a much needed improvement over that one, especially because of the fact that that thing is just gray plastic. It's just, it doesn't really look all that good. But anyway, let's take a closer look at good old Sideswipe here, right here, and you can see the two seats right there. However, that seems to be a hole, so it's kind of like a Flintstones mobile right there. That is really a small problem. Here's the gap, which, by the way, that is fixed in the Revenge of the Fallen release, because it's not a convertible. It's closed up, which means you can't see the hole necessarily from in there. So that will make it better. However, why would a Transformer turn into this anyway? These are supposed to be unmanned vehicles, and you're turning into a, like, does he have a hologram? Like, when he's just driving around, he has a hologram there. What? But yeah, but on the underside, obviously, here is Sideswipe as well. There's also something that I did not show off in the transformation, because I thought I would, I'll get the weapon storage out somehow. But anyway, also very nice wheels right here. Sadly enough, no pinning, no pinning. It's a bit of a shame. You got the Corvette logo right there, the Stingray logo right there. You got the nice front here as well. I love this figure. I think this figure overall is actually really cool, to be honest. And then here at the back, you got the these things here, which, by the way, these are supposed to be at the top of his back. That is how he shoots sideways in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. However, in my own headcanon, that disappeared when he changed it to Dark of the Moon, so I'm fine with it, kind of. But also, you got the nice, like, red in here for the backlights as well. And then here's the other side. And I know people might complain about the parts forming that is needed for this guy, because of the fact that these under pieces here are actually the weapons. However, I don't necessarily care about that all that much. You know, it's understandable, the parts forming, because of the fact that otherwise he would have been lunking around like two big blades that you then have to rotate around, and it would just ruin the silhouette. So I understand why they did it. And also, it's not parts forming that goes in other places. It's you take it off because they become the weapons. So that is more of an excuse for me. Now then, speaking of weapons, let's look at the other set of weapons. These weapons. Now, how do you store them on here? Well, that is actually a little bit of an annoyance, because what you have to do actually is you have to pull out the arm, if you can, and then in here there's a slot which you used in robot mode for the power of, I like how Sideswipe is just looking at his arm right there, but anyway, for the blades. However, this time you actually have a little tab here on the side of the gun right there that needs to go into that slot, so you can just take it and just, let's see here, tab it in. I think this is the side. Obviously, if I got the wrong side. No, that's the correct side, because you don't want the peg sticking out at the bottom. So then you want to take this, and you want to take this here. And there you go. Now he has some extra exhaust here at the back, and that is what the weapon storage is like. However, I thought it would be best to just show that off during this part. However, I don't actually know if this vehicle has these kind of exhaust. I do love the fact of the way that this interacts, you know, big fan of the way that it works. But like, I don't know if I thought the exhausts were like these, the four things right there, not these two here, but whatever. Extra exhaust, yeah, you love to see it. However, it also kind of ruins certain things over here with the rolling and all that stuff for my copy anyway. But whatever. Anyway, there you go. That is the weapon storage, and that is why I did not show that off. Also, he's got a nice little spoiler here, but that's why I did not show that off during the transformation, because I wanted to show that off here. Unlike Dino, where there are a myriad of other problems why I did not show off the weapon storage during the transformation either. But overall, it is a very nice looking vehicle mode, but outside of rolling, the thing can't really do anything. So let's then go straight into Sats comparison. Starting off, here we got Sideswipe with Dino and Q looking looking very nice alongside them as well. Since I'm recording Dino today and I needed Q for size comparison, why not show them off during Sideswipe's review as well, right? You know, it's just a simple little thing. So let's get them out of here. And then here we have Sideswipe next to Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. Yes, these were the wrong forms, but I do not care. I like these figures more than their other figures, so you're gonna get this for size comparison, but still looking very nice. So then, obviously, my favorites. So here we got Sideswipe with Ironhide and Jazz. Still feels wrong, absolutely feels wrong, but whatever, here they are, all three of them together. Looking really good as well. Love these three together. I mean, it's the classic movie size comparison for me. So let's get the two of them out of here. And before I forget, because I totally did not, but I did absolutely forget. Here we got Sideswipe with Kid from Knight Rider right there. I had him on the desk. Actually, I had him somewhere else. Like, I had him close by for the size comparison. I still forgot about him. God, what a moron. But anyway, here we have that size comparison. Let's get you out of here. Pull you in a bit closer, and let's get into that reverse transformation. So let's get Sideswipe back into his robot mode. So what you want to start off with, obviously, is you want to basically pull on this piece here and pull it off. Take this piece and pull it off as well. There's some stress mark here on this tab, sadly enough, because of the fact that, you know, clear plastic and all that stuff. Hate it with a passion. And then afterwards, also what you can do is you can then take the arms and pull them out. Also take off the weapons as well. Forgot they were still attached. My apologies. Move that all off to the side. And we'll deal with that later. And there you go. Fold down the arms like so. Afterwards, what you want to do here, you want to basically pull on this to the side. So pull this to the side in order to untab it from in here. Also get this out of the way. And then after that, you can lift this piece up. Take the legs here. Rotate them out all the way. Split the legs right here. Take this, rotate it in, but also rotate this whole thing around, and then rotate this in like so. So basically what you want to do with this is you want to split this like so, and then you can rotate it in and close it up. We'll adjust things as we get closer, but let's just push this up for now just to kind of get that whole thing situated. But we'll continue on with the legs once we get to it. After that, what you can also do is just rotate this piece around and fold it down, because now it needs to get out of the way for this. Because now what you want to do is you want to basically take these side pieces here and push down on them in order to untab them. Even though on my copy the tabs broke off, so it's easier for me to untab them. Also, come on, just get this piece over this piece here, because of the fact otherwise things will clash. And then what you can do is you can take this piece here, rotate it down. Also make sure that the head stays straight, don't look from side to side. Rotate this down, and then there is a tab under here that goes to the slot there. So basically you want to push down on this in order to lock that bad boy into place. After that, what you want to do with this back section here is you want to basically take it, get everything out of the way, rotate this back, then rotate this around, fold this back piece in and rotate this down. Then take these here and rotate them around. Take this, and there is a clear tab right there that you can't really see because it's clear, but it goes to a slot right there. So you want to fold this up and in and tab this whole segment together. Rotate this out and down a little bit, out and down a little bit. Make sure that the tab goes into the slot. There you go. Then take the arms and rotate them up. So take the arms and push them up. After that, what you want to do, you want to come in here. I don't have my parts separated with me at the moment, so we're just going to use this weapon. You basically just want to take the arms and rotate them out, or the hands. Not the arms, the hands. You want to take the hands and then rotate them out, like so. And after that, what you want to do with this is you want to chicken leg the bad boy right there. And then afterwards, you basically want to fiddle with the feet until you get the whole thing to stand perfectly straight. Come on. This is the most annoying part, in my opinion, about this figure, just to get this idiot straight. Come on, just bend the knee backwards. And then after all of that, here we have good old Dark the Moon Sideswipe back in his robotic mood. So, final thoughts on this guy. What do I think about him? Also, by the way, you can have all of the weapons attached to him at the same time. My recommendation is with the guns, the pegs need to be sitting on the inside. There you go. But anyway, I like this guy. I think he's overall pretty good. He works really well with with the rest of the Studio Series set. However, would I recommend him? That's kind of where the problem comes into play, because we do have the Revenge of the Fallen version of this mold as well, and I've heard that that one is actually better than this one because also it has some nicer paint. So while yes, I would recommend this mold, whichever version you get is your choice. However, to me, the quintessential Sideswipe figure that exists still is the Hunt for the Decepticons Deluxe class figure. So if you don't care about scaling and you just want to get yourself a Sideswipe, get that mold, the Hunt for the Decepticons mold. I think it was actually maybe by Takara repainted into a actual Sideswipe without the red at the front like in the Hunt for the Decepticons ones. But overall, I do enjoy this figure. He has a fun little transformation. It's just some of the parts are a bit clear plasticky, and also, you know, some smaller tabs have broken off on my copy, but nothing really hinders the transformation. So overall, I like this guy. So do I recommend him for that deluxe price point? Yes, I would. I would recommend either this or the other version. However, the Revenge of the Fallen version is, as a lot of people will say, better because he has a better paint job, and also the vehicle mode looks a bit better because he's not a convertible. But that is my review of Transformers Studio Series number 29 Deluxe Class Dark of the Moon Sideswipe, and also another happy 15-year anniversary to Transformers Dark of the Moon, my personal favorite of the live-action movies. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell, and comment your thoughts on this figure. And please check out my Let's Play channel, linked in the description and at the end of the video. I upload 3 videos every day of different games, but mainly Pokemon. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye!